I believe that the success of podcasts lies across three areas: plan, build, and grow. And so that's why I'm not just giving you one free webinar. I have 3 free webinars for you. So let's get into what's actually going to be in them. The first will be a live webinar that will cover the plan section. So you'll learn, I'll do a bit of background about why you should be podcasting, the power of podcasting, and why it's now a huge buzzword of 2018. How to narrow down your podcast idea, what you want a podcast about. And then this is the really important bit. We'll be defining your why, who, what, and where, so that you can achieve mega podcast success. And I'm not saying that you should have narrowed down every little part of that, but thinking about it and coming up with a plan will lead to podcast success. Then the next day you'll receive a webinar to watch at your own leisure covering the build section. In that video, we'll cover everything you need to start. So my little kit roundup, we'll look at the podcasting services to get you on the right foot, freebies and discounts on those services. There'll be some discounts for you, and how Nike's slogan, "Just do it," applies to podcasting. And then in the third webinar, 1, 2, 3, on the third day, we will look at grow, and we will cover how to promote your show to get listeners straight away. We'll look at the power of show notes, some amazing podcast websites that really help as well, and we'll give you a great free video tool and show you how to use video and social media to grow your show for free. Plus, there will be, and these aren't silly, but at the end there will be an amazing introductory offer on the new and upcoming Pod Tips Pro membership. So I know you're tight for time, so I wanted to just run through so quickly what's going to be in those free webinars. That's the free 3. Free 3, so zero money, 3 webinars. That's what's in them. That's what we'll cover for you. You can easily claim your place on these online completely free. Just go to podtips.pro/free-webinar. It's on your screen now, and it will be in the link below this video. If you cannot make the live webinar, don't worry. You will be able to get it available to catch up on into your inbox anyway. We'll just drop the videos into your inbox for you. Now, for those of you who have a couple more minutes to stick around and don't know me, hi. I just want to say hi, I'm Chris. I helped start a global podcasting company and I built the Pod Tips online community. If you want a CV, you can go and check out my LinkedIn, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a story on why I'm doing this. Firstly, I used to work in commercial radio. I did it for around just over 7 years, and it was a lot of fun, but only some of the time. I soon did get a little bit tired though, talking about Little Mix's latest boyfriend or Taylor Swift's new fad diet, the things that people don't tend to care about in a week's time. And to cut a long story short, it was at that time where I was working on radio that I rediscovered podcasts, but like I hadn't heard them ever before. They were recorded content that could be consumed again and again and again for 10s, 20s, even hundreds of years' time maybe. And they provide an amazing value, incredible stories, or even just all the facts that I reel off to my friends at the pub. I couldn't get enough of them, and I had to get in on this podcast world. Okay, yes, I do admit I did get a bit obsessed, and I probably still am. With my last company, I worked with a lot of podcasters and clients to help improve their podcasts. And one overwhelming thing that was coming out is that the training out there is okay, but it really lacked continuous support, and it does lack continuous support for podcasters. When I worked in radio, there was something that we used to receive on a monthly basis they were called snoops, which I don't really like the name of, but these were meetings where the radio boss picked out random bits of audio from our shows and would analyse it with us. So we wouldn't know which piece of audio they were going to pick, but they would pick it out. Now, they weren't telling us if it was crap or good, but they were actually giving us helpful tips on how maybe this bit might have worked better for this audience or the audience we were aiming at, or how timing on this might have helped give a different effect, or how we could have marketed this particular feature differently. And it was all really helpful, and this meant that I was always learning as a presenter, even after 7+ years experience. And that level of investment in me by the company, and the investment I was putting into myself, was so important. And it's that I think the podcast industry has been lacking. So I've created this new PodTips platform and soon to launch PodTips Pro on the idea that everyone needs to continually invest in training, not just pay for a one-off course that will teach you everything you need to know for just $1,000, but, and that was a terrible American accent, and I don't think it's not only the American courses that are like that, there are a lot of British ones too, but that will give you all. I wanted to build something that will give you all the knowledge whilst continually giving you the latest advice, listening to your shows and helping with one-to-one tips and continual training so that we're always improving. And I think we all need that. A doctor goes through around 10 years of training to be fully qualified, but does he stop learning there? No. A mechanic goes through a few years training too. Does he continually do top-up courses or training days because technology is always changing? Yes, and that's why I think podcasters should be doing the same. And I know I'm still learning every single day, and I'm learning from heap loads of reading, watching videos, listening to podcasts, talking to peers, being active in communities, and physically just doing it as well. And that's what I want to create with the PodTips brand. Anyway, that is enough for me. I just wanted to give you a bit of backstory as to why I've created these webinars and why I've created the PodTips brand and the PodTips Pro community that will be launching soon. The 3-part webinar is available for free now. Just go over to podtips.pro/free-webinar to claim your place, and I'll speak to you there.